Today, I want to introduce you to one final character before the launch, and that would be Mojo. You've already heard about Rodeo, the prime dealer on Earth for the drug MayoMadd. Well, come Volume 3, MayoMadd is being replaced by another deadly drug, also created by an embittered Dr. Vaughn, but this time to fulfill a contract with Deep Cluck and the chickens for helping to save his wife. The drug is Roscoe 21, and Mojo, who has no fear of Rodeo, has been chosen as the dealer. Obviously, this sets up a confrontation, especially once Rodeo discovers why he is being sidelined. It's all part of the grand plan by Deep Cluck and his army to exact revenge from the Purebloods. To learn more, you got to read the book. But this passage I'm about to read should give you a good peek into who Mojo is. Mojo had a lot of names, but the one that stuck with him almost as much as Mojo was Long Tall, because that's what he was. Standing nearly 6'6", straight vertical, with long dark hair and skin the color of what an orange would look like if it screwed a lemon, Mojo was known as someone you didn't want to cross. He was nearly as deadly as the Jera and operated solo except for his top guy, Bone, the sole and only on rare occasions exception. His lieutenants only knew so much, and they knew better than to ask more than whatever he chose to tell them. He didn't have any friends, and only rumors of bits and pieces of a family somewhere on the reservation close to the Arizona border, except for the woman he called his mother, and who had always seemed suspect because she looked nothing like Mojo at all. Simply appeared one day like a figment made real out of somebody's imagination of what a mother ought to look like. But nobody questioned the arrangement out loud. The rumors were only rumors, and the few who took it upon themselves to investigate were never heard from again. It was safe to say that Mojo liked his privacy, but he also liked his mystery, because he knew it worked for him. It stoked the fear whenever his name came up in places where he could not be, and it was that fear which had worked for him as hard as any foot soldier or lieutenant had worked for him, because ever since he had made that distribution pact with Rodeo, the one thing he hadn't figured on was that no one had much of a reason to fear him anymore. It was true he no longer had to get his hands dirty, and his cut from the MayoMadd proceeds was more than generous, but it left him with little to do except to collect the cash. And Mojo wasn't the type who liked having nothing to do. Even worse was not being in control, and there wasn't much control when he wasn't the one the customers were looking for product. Now that there was only one product on the streets, or at least only one product that anyone really wanted, and since that product all came from the same source, the competition angle was dried up. Being part of a distribution network wasn't the same thing when you weren't the one in charge of the network. And that's all I'm going to read you right now. But I do want to say that section there is obviously before he became head of the distribution of Roscoe 21. And I think that's important to see. I want you guys to hear about that part, because this is when back when Rodeo was running things, and Rodeo was the sole distributor, and he basically controlled the whole network of everything. So all the other dealers were under him and came to him for the product. That changed for like I said before, when the whole arrangement changed, and so then that made Mojo the head of Mojo, kind of the new head, and shoved Rodeo to the side. But I wanted this section I just read just kind of give you an idea of what kind of person Mojo was and his character and everything. So hope you enjoyed it. And this is the last character reading before the big event, July 21st, 7 to 9 p.m. at Book Suey. So hope to see you there, and see you then. Have a good time. Thank you.